Let's Podcast. You're listening to the Let's Not Do This podcast. Today is Tuesday. What is it? August 18th?
15th.
15th? It's the 15th?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Jesus. Well, congratulations to those that are getting their checks on the 1st and the 15th.
Jesus fucking Christ. Already?
Oh, yeah. You're listening to the Let's Not Do This podcast, sitting alongside the three unwise men. You got the Big O, Leon Oliver, sitting across from me in a very white shirt. It's the only thing pure about him.
Correct.
Chris Green, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah. Got some beer, hanging out with two of my favorite people and you.
Oh, you got that rash cleared up?
The rash is gone.
Okay,
Yes.
nice. Well, the memories remain.
Modern medicine is beautiful.
Man, when you're chained up in a bedroom in Albuquerque, lots of things happen.
Albuquerque.
Man, speaking of Albuquerque, Scotty Too Hottie, how are you, sir?
What?
What does that mean? I don't like the way you said very white about his shirt either.
What? I'm just saying, it's quite white. It's quite pure.
What does very white mean? That might be racist.
He looks like a white knight.
And what do I have to do with Albuquerque?
You look like someone that would be from Albuquerque.
You look like you do meth.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Trailer. I've never been to your house. Do you own a trailer?
A townhouse and not that far off.
Okay.
He is in Chester.
Yeah, well.
My bad.
You just doxed him.
Chester, Pennsylvania.
Scotty looks like Zelensky if he did
He
meth.
does.
Right.
He
Gotcha.
is continuing his Vladimir Zelensky theme.
Damn it.
We're going to get him some fatigues.
Chester townhouse equals Glen Allen trailer. I
There we
guess.
go. You know, from now
Are
on,
there any trailer parks out here?
there is a trailer park in, I forget where, but there is one not too far from here. There's one in Ashland, too.
Well, yeah.
I think it's auxiliary.
That's not surprising.
I think it's auxiliary housing for Randolph-Macon College. Sounds about right.
Okay.
And a man who, you know what? I'm going to be nice to him this week.
Oh. Why?
He's a Highlander. Yeah. Ryan Dickerson, how are you, sir?
There can only be one, I guess.
Yeah.
Doing good, man. Still here. Still surviving.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You shaved the head lately?
Yeah, head's always shaved.
Aerodynamic, you shine it up real
He
good.
stays ready, bro.
Hey, man.
I do appreciate that he put the hat on this week so the light doesn't come down and reflect off that thing and kill us all.
Has he not worn a hat
right, yeah.
on any episode?
No, there was one episode where he damn near blinded us all with the reflection off that thing. It was like Mr. Clean.
Is that on video?
Yeah.
That must have been a one-off.
It was an early episode.
I always wear a hat.
Yeah. All right, so anyone do anything interesting this weekend? No?
No.
You out and about?
Good.
Nope.
Did I do anything?
Watched a good UFC card, I thought, on Saturday night.
Yeah.
A lot of submissions and
It was a lot
knockouts.
of first round finishes in that
Yeah.
card, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was
Yeah.
a very action-packed event. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched Bare Knuckle on Friday night. For the most disappointing, who's the YouTube guy? The TikTok guy?
Bryce Hall?
Bryce Hall. Not
Yeah.
Brees Hall, the Jets running back, but Bryce Hall, right?
I actually, because we were actually in the group chat talking about it. So I watched a couple fights and saw the first fighter I've ever seen with a tan line. With a farmer's tan.
Well, you didn't watch old UFC then. 'Cause
Yo.
that's all
Yeah, I
the
guess
heavyweights.
not. Yeah.
My man, though, looked like he had been picking alfalfa like all day long. I mean, straight Texas A&M, rough, tough, real stuff. I mean, is what this guy was. Farmer's tan out the ass. He couldn't fight for shit either.
Yeah, he got better the more he got hit.
That's very true.
Probably from Albuquerque.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah. So yeah, we watched that, and I went to a brewery Saturday. I went to a couple breweries Saturday.
No way.
Goodness, color me shocked. One thing I will say, and one thing that kind of ticks me off a little bit is, you ever go to places where they like don't start a tab for you? Like you have to pay
college
for
bars,
each
but that's
individual
about it,
drink.
Yeah. At college bars, yeah.
It drives me nuts. Now,
That's
someone
wild.
like Ryan is paying with like buffalo nickels and stuff like that. I'm sure it doesn't bother him as much. But it drove me nuts. Each time I had to go up, I had to pay for my beer, and then here's the fucking kicker: the little thing is right there asking for a tip. So do you leave a tip
course.
after each one?
If you're at a brewery, I wouldn't tip shit.
That's probably why they do that then.
Yeah, but that's exactly why.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
think so?
because like me, if I just get one, I'm tipping at least $1.
Yeah, you're more inclined to. They're
If I
more.
get five
They're going to make
drinks,
more money that
yeah.
way.
Yeah, that makes sense because rather than leave the one,
It's not
big-
it's
Right.
not an actual bar. They're not really doing anything.
That's the thing. It's like it's a. I mean, you're pouring a beer. That's a skill to pouring a beer, but it's not like you're making martinis back there.
Might as well go to the circuit and pour your own beer.
It's funny when people, for those that don't know, the circuit, it's a bar. It's an arcade bar where you pour your own beer. With so many places now have the self-pour taps, and so many people don't know how to pour a beer, and it's just straight foam.
Yeah.
Ryan looks like one of those people.
No.
He drinks his out of a can or a bottle.
Absolutely
Who
not.
gives a fuck?
When you went to college, did they let you tap the keg?
Yes.
You know how to
Tap a keg. Absolutely.
Okay.
I've never tapped a keg.
Yeah, neither have I.
Well, you've never been to a party either, Chris. So, I mean, you got that going for you. All right. Well,
Paid for many pay-per-view matches and games. We really didn't pay for them because we had the little chip.
There it
Putting
is.
it back.
What?
So we'd say we're paying for the Tyson fight, and that might be making money.
Yeah.
It might probably definitely illegal, but
There's-
you know, hey,
Allegedly.
actually,
There's no rules in college.
the statute of limitations may be, that was 1874. So,
yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not worried about.
Yeah.
Speaking my mind now about it.
I don't think, him and Frederick Douglass are going to be brought up on charges anytime soon.
Yes.
All right. So, in addition to Frederick Douglass, on this episode, we'll get into our AFC and NFC North division previews. We're going to talk a little bit about Michael Orr and that fiasco with the blind side. James Harden apparently wants out of Philadelphia. And we got a whole kit and caboodle of weird stories, including roommate stories for you here. So, before we do that, though, I think Ryan has a plea for you people.
Yes. If you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, please subscribe
Please.
to YouTube. Hit the little red button. I believe it's red.
Yep.
White lettering. Subscribe. Please
Beautiful.
do that.
Yep.
If you can hear my voice again, hit that little subscribe button.
What if
Hit
they're
that
looking?
shit.
What if they're looking at your face and they have it on mute?
Still, hit the subscribe button. If I
Hit
could sign
the
language,
subscribe
yeah, yeah.
button.
I'll make a sign for next week.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll hold it in front of me as I'm pleading.
So, well, I guess running backs have been playing looking for a job.
For the hearing impaired.
Yes.
But y'all didn't, I don't know if y'all saw what Chris did, but that was a little offensive, but it's okay.
I did the same thing.
They're not going to see it on Spotify, so it's fine.
We might be canceled.
Oh, we should have been canceled a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Well, running backs have been playing looking for a job, and now a couple of them are gainfully employed. Dalvin Cook going to the New York Jets on a one-year
Boo.
deal. And then we also have Ezekiel Elliott going to the New England Patriots on a one-year deal as well.
Double boo.
I'll start off with Scotty here. Doesn't seem like you were too enthralled by either one of these moves.
No, not really. I mean,
Boring.
two aging running backs. I think Cook might have one more year left in him, so I like that deal a lot better than the Zeke deal. It makes sense for both sides for the Jets and Dalvin Cook with Breece Hall coming off an injury. But the Zeke thing, an aging quarterback on an aging, terrible team. Like the Patriots aren't going anywhere this year. Doesn't move the needle at all.
Maybe if they put Malik Cunningham back there at quarterback, we saw what he did in preseason the other day
Yeah,
after
maybe.
shifting him back over from wide receiver.
It might have to.
Yeah. Chris, you also were not enthralled in these two moves.
Yeah, I think, Zeke is for sure done. And the Patriots aren't expected to win more than 7 or 8 games, so I don't see – he doesn't make a difference in that whatsoever. I think the Dalvin Cook move is more significant. I think if the Jets have a chance to win the AFC East, he's going to be a contributing factor, especially in the first few games when Breece Hall's getting his legs back under him. So I think Dalvin Cook has the potential to be good. Their season totals, I was listening to the radio today, Dalvin Cook's season total, 600 yards.
That's what the over-under is?
Yeah. And Zeke is 375. So I think they both hit those numbers.
Were
So I
these-
might put some money down.
Were these adjusted from after they signed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, those were the lines as of today.
I don't think either move is like a severe game changer. Scotty, I believe you put the graphic up on our page showing where the odds didn't move
Not
for
at all.
either for
Yeah.
your team. But I think for diversifying those offenses, especially as much as the Jets, more likely going to throw the ball, you have a guy like Dalvin Cook that can catch passes out of the backfield. It's a good change of pace. Having two backs and you can run the ball a little bit, switch those guys out. I think it just adds another versatile option to that offense. Same thing with Zeke. It's a guy that he can catch. You have Ramondre Stevenson there. Zeke doesn't fumble the ball. That's something in New England that they really prioritize. What Ryan, you're a Cowboys fan. Zeke hasn't fumbled since 2020 or 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, he's definitely not a fumbler. I mean, he may have. I mean, honestly, he may have fumbled twice in the last 5 years, as far as I know.
And the Patriots, I think more so than anyone, put a premium on not turning the ball over. So I think ultimately, it's not the most sexy move in the world as if you had made these moves 3 years ago, maybe, but
He'll be able to pick up the blitz.
I feel good.
That's going to be his biggest thing, I think.
I mean, again, short yardage. He'll probably be a very terrible vulture to Ramondre Stevenson. But I think they'll again kind of use him like Dallas did, with Tony Pollard, kind of be the short yardage, third down, pick up the blitz, like you said. He's a good pass protector. That'll just be his role. I think at this point in his career, he understands what he is.
I hope so.
He can always play center too. So.
Well, yeah, that too. Well, y'all remember that game the Patriots had against the Colts when they did that little trick play?
Griff Whalen.
Yeah, and they had a guy hiking the ball. So I mean, that could be that could be his role.
When Dallas ran that god awful play last year, Pat McAfee was very happy about it because he was like, finally we don't have the worst play in NFL history. Because I believe Pat was taking the snap from Griff Whalen on that, if I remember correctly. It was.
Yeah, I think
so. A whole terrible operation that the Colts had going on there.
That was the Colts, not the Patriots.
Yeah, the Colts.
It was the
They
Colts.
were playing the Patriots.
Yeah, they were playing the
Okay.
Patriots.
Okay.
And then Jim Zorn had the swinging gate fiasco with
Fucking
the
Jim
Redskins.
Zorn. Good Lord.
Scotty, you were horny for Zorny, weren't you?
Let's not bring that guy
The
up.
first 6 games, I was. He started 6-0, I think.
Horny for Zorny.
Yeah.
Remember those shirts? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Nope. You're thinking of something.
Did you
else.
have one?
No, I did not have a horny for Zorny shirt. I was a Captain Chaos guy back in the day.
I don't believe you.
Chris Cooley. All right, so what some people don't believe that have trouble believing is that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a Green Bay Packer this year. He's a New York Jet, and now that division is wide open in the NFC North. A lot of bets are coming. I believe I saw BetMGM say the Lions are the most bet-on team to win the division, and I think BetMGM said their most bet-on team to win the NFC is the Lions.
Interesting.
Right now.
Probably good value for that.
Yeah, so we'll start off our NFC and AFC North previews. And Ryan, you look very enterprising over there. I'll go with you in the NFC North. Your thoughts on the black and blue division in football?
It's definitely, we had a conversation earlier before the podcast started. It's definitely a interesting division. I don't think it's that great in terms of top to bottom. Definitely everybody is hedging on Detroit to win it, and I think it is really theirs to lose. I think Minnesota's lost so much from last year's team. It may not be the main cogs, but they've lost Adam Thielen, they lost Patrick Peterson, they lost Zadarius Smith. So they lost a lot of players that people, I guess, don't really think about as being main cogs, but they're kind of veterans that kind of keep the ball rolling. And the Vikings were so lucky. I mean, they had a negative what is it, a point margin where I think they scored less than their opponents last year and won 13 games, which is like unheard of. So I really do think things will swing to where that luckiness that they had last year won't happen this year. So I definitely think it's Detroit to lose. Definitely, I love Jared Goff. If they can get that run game going, their receiver crew to me is elite. Like, they have some dogs on those receivers with the rookie finally playing after he gets off suspension. Williams, the guy from Alabama. Can't think of the guy last year that was really good. He has the brother that plays for Chicago.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown. They just have a plethora of guys that are really good. So I like Detroit.
I will piggyback off of this one here. To me, this is the most interesting division in football. We don't really know what we're going to get out of Jordan Love. I mean, he hasn't played a ton over the last few years. He looks kind of like a game manager. Green Bay obviously has lost a lot of veteran players off of their team. Ryan, you're right. You mentioned Minnesota has lost a lot, especially off of defense. Now, no Dalvin Cook, but Alexander Mattison has performed well. Filling in for him before. I love the tight end and Hawkinson. Then you have the rookie receiver Jordan Addison to pair him along with Justin Jefferson, who I'm going to tell you right now is my dark horse for MVP this year. This division's interesting. I think Chicago will pull up the rear, but I think you have a chance for Justin Fields to kind of show that he's one of the better young quarterbacks, but I think they have too many questions. But I think it's Detroit's division. The question is, can they play with expectations?
Sure.
The Lions are used to being the hunted, essentially, what a lion does. Being the hunter, excuse me. But now they're kind of the hunted by default. And I don't know if this team is ready to take that next step. I could see someone winning this division at like 9-8 or something like that. Like being these teams are going to beat up on each other this year. Don't rule Minnesota out, though. I know Kirk Cousins is a headache, and I know he's not a primetime guy. But I wouldn't rule the Vikings out, but I think the Lions probably do come out with this division. Scotty, you look like you were very pensive.
Yeah, you mentioned the Lions with expectations. Everybody's on them, and I just think without that underdog mentality, I just don't see them being the same team. They didn't get a lot better in the offseason, I don't think. And I'm going with the Vikings. I know they had the negative point differential and all that, but they're probably going to be more of a passing team this year with Kevin O'Connell getting, was it his second or third year with them?
I think it's
Second. Is it third? Second? I'm not sure.
Well, anyways, yeah, the longer he is there, I think they'll become more of a passing offense. And with the, I know they lost Thielen. Okay. I know they lost Thielen, but I think Addison's going to be really good, and Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson. And, I mean, they still got Madison there. And I think everybody's overlooking them because of all the lucky games they got last year and the close games, the 3-point games. But, I mean, they know how to win. And as much as I don't want to bet on Kirk, I said the Bears will be better. The Bears will be better, but they're still not there. They're not going to be very good this year. And then the Packers, I'm just not sold on Jordan Love or his weapons. So it's going to be the Vikings for me.
I'm going to give you a Yaller horn, Scotty.
I'm not scolding.
I don't know what that fucking was. But.
That's the Yaller horn that the Vikings play. But they have a different Viking celebrity come out there and blow the Yaller horn before every game. Which, by the way, is fucking massive.
It's fucking dumb.
I've been in U.S. Bank Stadium. That Yaller horn is massive. It is, yeah.
Another reason to not ever go to Minnesota. Great.
It's a lovely town. Minneapolis is.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Christopher, your NFC North thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is probably the third worst division in the NFL, behind the South divisions that we talked about last week.
I'm sorry, the what divisions?
The South.
South. Okay, I thought you said South. Enunciation is important.
Anyways, clean your ears out. In these cases, I don't think any of those coaches are that good. I kind of like Dan Campbell, but I'm going with the best quarterback in the division. That is Jared Goff. Detroit going to win 10 games. Everybody else wins 8 or less, and it's going to be that.
Can we keep the Lions off of FanDuel long enough for them to win the division? Because they got a little bit of a gambling problem in that they're building there.
Yeah, is Jameson Williams ever going to play more than 2 games in a row?
Who plays more, Jameson Williams or Ben Simmons?
Ooh. Ooh.
That's
Ben
Simmons? You know what? Yeah. I'm going to toss in another one. Steven Strasburg as well.
Is he still not retired?
No, he's not retired.
He's just collecting them checks.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's think about baseball.
Stupid,
why not?
Terrible franchise. Terrible franchise.
Well, Ben Simmons gets 82 tries, so I would hope it would be him.
Yeah, think so. Okay. Yeah. So all right. So then switching things over, going to the AFC North. Now, Chris, you were before the show very high on this division and how exciting you feel it's going to be.
Best division in football.
Do tell.
I don't think any of these teams goes below 500. I think Deshaun Watson finally bounces back after. Hopefully he stops touching people inappropriately.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. He got suspended for it, so is it alleged?
Hey, he was not convicted. Allegedly.
All right. Well, he was convicted by the NFL. Goodell.
I don't want to get sued. Allegedly.
Fine. Sue you for what?
For Ryan's money.
Yeah. Lamar's back. He got his money. He's ready to go. They got a new offense. He's not going to be running around like a crazy person and getting hurt. Pittsburgh is still Pittsburgh. I don't think Tomlin's ever had a losing season.
He is not.
And Cincinnati, Joey B, probably the favorites to win if he can stay healthy. So this is, in my opinion, the best division in football. My winner, I'm going to go with Cleveland.
The Browns.
Sean Watson's back, baby.
What kind of peyote have you been taking?
All right, I'm going next because no, I got the Browns too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think this team's gonna have. Just listen.
Right,
I think
so disappointed.
I think the Ravens are gonna finish last in this division. They'll
still win 9
them.
games.
I don't really like them this year. I think the Browns, the Steelers, and the Bengals will all make the playoffs.
I like it.
The reason why I'm picking the Browns. So the Browns have the most complete team in that division.
Correct.
Now the Bengals have the most talent, but I think they're going to start slow with their Burrow injury. We don't even know if he's going to play week 1 or not. They play the Browns week 1, so I got the Browns in that game. And the Bengals have the hardest since they won the division last year. They got to go at Kansas City. Nobody else in that division plays Kansas City. They got the toughest division. I think they're going to start slow. I think the Browns are going to come out with a chip on their shoulder, and I just think they're a very good team. They got a good defense. I think, like Chris said, Watson's going to get back to form this year.
Still got Nick Chubb.
Sneaky pickup Elijah Moore for the Browns. He's going to be a very good number 2. I love Amari Cooper there, and I just think they got a complete team. They got a great O-line. Give me the Browns.
Wow. I'm the Browns. Wow.
Yeah.
Browns. The Browns.
Ryan, are you drinking the brown Kool-Aid too?
No.
First of all, brown Kool-Aid sounds
No,
terrible.
not yeah.
Well, that sounds about as good as picking the
ways.
Browns in anything.
I just can't see the Browns doing it. I mean, I like Deshaun Watson, but I don't know. Like, I thought he was a little overrated with the Texans, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback when he's on, but again, he hasn't won in his career. And to me, to take a team that hasn't ever won anything since, I don't know, consistently since Bernie Kosar was there back in the 80s. I mean, like, I just don't see it.
The drive, the fumble.
Right. Yeah. I just don't see it. I'm not saying they don't have a chance to make the playoffs, but to win it all, I just don't know. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on their coach because he's got to win this year.
Yeah.
And he just, again, hasn't proven anything. Like, you know,
Well,
Baker
got there with Baker.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't see the Browns. A lot of talent, especially on defense. They are solid, but that offense is so Nick Chubb driven. If he gets hurt without
Kareem Hunt
there,
yeah,
they're going in the shitter real quick because they're so run based.
They're going in the shitter, which is fitting for the color brown. See what I did there?
Boo.
My pick is going to
Why did it take so long?
Because I got to trim the beginning, and I'm also preemptively booing Ryan's pick because you know it's going to suck.
be wow. Worse than
we-
Cleveland?
I was going to say we both picked the Browns, and his
Yeah.
pick's going to suck.
I just want to be mean to him.
My pick's going to be Baltimore, even though y'all think
Okay.
they're coming last. I think Baltimore just has a culture of winning. I think last year, the fact that they got to the playoffs and almost beat Cincinnati with the backup quarterback, to me, I mean, if he didn't, that fumble at
The Pro Bowl backup quarterback.
Pro Bowl backup quarterback. I mean, the fact that they got that far with that guy being their quarterback for the key stretch at the end of the year, I think that says a lot. I think they're going to be better on offense again with Todd Monken being there, having Odell Beckham, even though he may not be as good, of course, as the old Odell Beckham, but it's definitely an upgrade from what they had. And the rookie that they have, again, I think he may be the best wide receiver coming out of his draft is Zay Flowers, guy from BC.
Yeah.
He was an absolute monster at BC, and BC really isn't known for their offensive explosion. So having Lamar Jackson there, I think, will be, of course, the best quarterback that he's had this year, that he's ever had in his career. If they can get something out of their run game, if, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, somebody does something in the run game.
They got to stay healthy.
Yeah, yeah, that I just think Baltimore just has something to prove this year. I think Lamar has something to prove this year. Kind of people doubted him last year. People had a lot of opinions about him in the offseason.
You think he's got something to prove after he got his paycheck?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I think a lot of people.
Yeah,
You gotta justify your money.
For sure.
Yeah, I think
the whole
that
contract.
people thought he was
situation.
hurt, and
Yeah.
people thought he was holding out, and
Yeah.
people didn't think he's into it. I think now he's gonna, at least for this 1 year, it's like, all right, y'all thought I was nothing. Y'all thought I wasn't that good. Y'all thought I was faking my injury, and I'm gonna show y'all. So, I think that revenge factor is gonna give Baltimore an edge. But again, Cleveland, I think they will be in the mix. Cincinnati, of course, will be in the mix. Pittsburgh, I think, will be the last place team. I mean, they may be a very good last place, 7-10 last place, but 8-9. I think Tomlin Street could be done this year. Be honest with you, but it's going to be a very tight division.
I'm going to flip this upside down because your last place team, I'm going to go top bottom, is actually my first place team.
Whoa!
Wow.
I'm actually
See, this is why it's the most competitive division.
I'm actually going to go. You know what? Give you a little sticks there. I'm going to bring it out before we get claimed. But yeah, I'll give you a little renegade there. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I think Tomlin doesn't know how to lose, and I'm not a Steeler fan by any stretches of the imagination, but I was wrong about Kenny Pickett. I think he's a better NFL quarterback than I think myself and a lot of other people thought he was going
tiny
to be.
hands Pickett.
Yeah, I love George Pickens. I mean, he's going to be.
That dude's
he's
fun.
developing into be a star. He's going to be that dude.
Is he the next Odell?
He very well could be. Pat Fryermuth is about as serviceable as a tight end that you can get. I think they got to figure out a way to better utilize Najee Harris. Like more north-south running with him.
Yeah.
Not as much trying to go off tackle, east-west stuff. They need to give this guy the ball a little bit more. I think we need to see a little bit more vintage Steeler football, kind of punch you in the mouth a little bit more.
Their offensive line was terrible. Did y'all know that Kenny Pickett had like 2 concussions last year? Like
What?
Yeah, like Kenny Pickett got his ass kicked last year.
Yeah.
I mean, their line just isn't good. That's why Najee Harris
Yeah.
was so not bad, but it took him 25 carries
He looked like
Yeah.
Trent
to
Richardson
get 100
last year.
yards. yeah. I mean, like I think that's the key for Pittsburgh is if that line is better.
They got to shore it up.
Protect Pickett because Pickett got hit a lot last year. He just did.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't notice, dude got beat up. I mean, he's a tough kid, but definitely Pittsburgh can do it. That offensive line is going to be everything for them, I think.
Yeah,
Well, they went 9-8 last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've gotten better. I do think at the end of the season, the Bengals will be the best team in the division. But I just think the schedule and the slow start is that's why I picked the Browns.
Yeah.
Especially, who knows? They may not have Joe Burrow for maybe the first 2-3
Right.
games,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
possibly. And then I'm sorry, maybe it's my bias, but I can't have total faith in Baltimore. And I know who's the backup last year, the Pro Bowl.
Huntley.
Huntley.
Yeah.
Huntley.
I know he played well in relief, but just the way that Lamar Jackson plays, I mean, this is any athlete is one snap away, but the way he plays,
Yeah.
he's one hit away from your season being completely different.
Yeah, I just don't think they had a great offseason either, other than Zay Flowers. I do like Zay Flowers. I think he might be their number 1 receiver this year. But other than that, I just don't really like their moves this offseason.
Yeah, and I don't know how you shuffle up the division, but between Baltimore and Cincinnati, or who's 2 and who's 3. But I put Cleveland on the bottom here.
Interesting.
I don't think Deshaun Watson. I think he's going to be better than he was last year. But as Ryan said, I think he got a little bit too much credit for how things went when things were going well in Houston. I think they're going to miss Kareem Hunt more than what you think. I mean, Amari Cooper is getting older. I don't know if he's going to stay healthy. I don't think this team knows how to win yet. And, I mean, this is a black and blue division. They're going to beat up on each other. And I'm going to go to the guy who knows how to get you there. And Mike Tomlin knows.
Amari Cooper's only 29 years old.
He feels like he's so much older.
Yeah.
He's been around a while.
He's got some tread on the tires. Like, yeah.
I'm going to recap everybody's picks real quick.
You can read?
No,
I'm
I'm
actually-
asking y'all to recap it so I can write it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been recording them. Like, I got last week's picks on here.
Okay.
I'm going for my division winner, the Pittsburgh Steelers, as those yingers will say.
What do you have? NFC North.
In the NFC North, I went with my brain just farted on me just now. I went with the
Minnesota?
Lions. Yeah,
Okay.
Alliance.
I had the
So,
the
all
Vikings
three
is
y'all
in
were
the
on
mix,
Lions?
but I got the Lions.
Okay.
You went Lions,
I
too?
was a lone wolf.
I went Lions,
Okay,
and
and you went Minnesota.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Nobody loved the Bears. We got no bear love.
Absolutely not.
Bears.
The Bears. Me and
DJ Moore
Leon
is
look
not
like
enough.
the two guys that have heart attacks on that one show.
Oh, Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two like pounding their chest. Yeah. Speaking of Bears, I was flipping through the Twitter, or no, X, excuse me, X.
Oh, X.
And I saw a clip today. I think it's from like over the weekend. There was a high school in Tennessee that was doing football practice. A bear came wandering out onto the football field. And of course, like everyone scattered. Now, this was a black bear, so usually they're not super aggressive.
What's that supposed to mean?
That might be racist.
Well, if you know your bears, black bears traditionally don't really go after humans unless you get between the mother and its young. Black bears are usually not that aggressive.
It's the white ones that'll kill you.
No, the polars are killing machines, dude. Yeah. But
Yep. It's like history.
Yeah, I was watching something a couple weeks ago, and it said they're like one of the only animals that hunt humans.
Yeah.
What?
It's a polar bear.
polar bears?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But here's my thought process. If
Why are you so aggressive, Scotty?
Why am I? Are you not white?
colonizer. if you had to put the pads on the bear and like line them on the football field, what position do you think a bear would be best at?
Defensive tackle.
Ryan's like, what the fuck?
You think so?
What
Like,
a dumbass fucking
Well,
question.
it's got to be defense.
Defensive tackle.
well,
I think middle linebacker.
see, I asked my wife this, and my wife said offensive lineman. Well, I asked her a lot of dumb questions. But my wife thought the bear would be a good old lineman just because of how strong they are.
That's not a bad choice.
Not the worst, but I would go.
Can a bear really pass block?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't see a bear stepping back.
It's not stepping back.
Right.
Yeah,
It'll run
I see
block.
that.
It can run block.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe a fullback. Yeah.
Could you imagine running the old Green Bay Packer sweep with a bear pulling around the end there as a lead blocker?
And
Yeah. But Ryan, what do you think? What was a bear should have passed?
Again, I like if fullbacks were. If it was 1985, it'd be a fullback.
Yeah.
It'd be like
or
a
San Francisco.
Tom Rathman.
Little Daryl Johnson, little Tom
Daryl
Rathman.
Johnston.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, just go forward and the running back just follow.
I'm going with Scotty. I'm saying middle linebacker because it's like they're rangy. Bears are quicker than what you think. They're smarter than what you think, and they're very rangy. They can cover a lot of space, and I feel like a bear would track your ass down. Like you're not getting to the second level past the bear.
I feel like we should move on. This is dumb.
They made a movie called Air Bud. Okay, like why can't we do that?
Yeah,
with a
they
bear?
also made Cocaine Bear.
cocaine.
Very good movie, actually.
You
Still
see,
haven't
Saw it a
watched
couple
it.
of weeks ago.
Still haven't watched it. 'cause
You seen the
we were all
program.
supposed to go and see it and then review it, and we didn't.
Yeah, because we suck.
you seen the program, right? We've all seen
Yes.
that, right?
What?
The program, the movie, the program.
I feel like Chris isn't a program guy.
No, not so
Yeah.
much.
The movie about the Latimer, the steroided out linebacker.
ESU,
It's-
Eastern
it's
State
ki-
University.
Yeah, it's kind of
older
like
movie.
Florida State. It's supposed to be kind of a.
Yeah. They
Wow,
filmed it at
okay.
Williams-Brice Stadium at the University of South Carolina.
We should in a future episode, let's do an episode where we talk about sports movies. We compile a list of all the shit I haven't seen, and I'll go watch all of them.
Well, we're going to get into a sports movie a little bit later on in this episode. That's a teaser for you.
Hey,
But no, so they were doing like,
fuck this bear nonsense. Let's go.
I'm about to go. They were doing steroids and stuff in that movie. You mentioned Cocaine Bear. Imagine a bear doped up on coke or steroids. You put him at middle linebacker.
Defensive tackle.
It's a killing machine.
Defensive tackle. Vince Wilfork as a bear.
I see. I'm thinking more. Maybe it's because he played for the Bears. I'm
Aaron
thinking
Donald.
Brian Urlacher.
He's a polar bear.
Oh, who was the
He is
Who
a
was the
polar
guy, the Houston Texan linebacker that kept getting suspended for steroids?
bear. Cushing.
Ryan Cushing. Yeah. Ryan Cushing would be great.
Also a polar bear.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be great. All right, moving on. Before we get done with the sports stuff here, going into picks for this week. Now, I'll put Premier League on here. I know y'all didn't pick anything. Premier League.
Chelsea.
Woo!
Who's my team? Arsenal. Go Arsenal.
Liverpool?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all did those stupid what are they, like, questionnaires?
Well, you three did. I had a
Yeah.
Premier League team.
That's how we found our teams.
The Hamas.
The Mighty Hamas.
What is Arsenal? There's something with shooting, right?
Arsenal, they're the Gunners.
The Gunners.
with
Yeah.
shooting.
Hey, the Gunners. Yeah.
Are they from Baltimore?
Okay.
The American would like
That
the
might
team
be
with the
racist.
guns.
Hey, they are one of the biggest teams in America in terms of fandom.
There you go.
You got that going for you. All right.
Midwest loves them.
I don't want to be here anymore.
The feeling's mutual. All right, so NASCAR, we'll start off with that. Just 2 races left before the cutoff to the chase. Rolling into Watkins Glen this week. Chris, where's Watkins Glen?
Is that in Delaware?
That is incorrect, sir. I'll give you one more guess.
Alabama.
No. New York State.
Oh, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
They even care?
Yeah, that's a very well-attended race there.
Okay.
But going road racing at Watkins Glen.
What city is it in?
I forget the name of the city off the top of my head.
That the racetrack said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
I
Watkins
think
Glen?
it's Watkins Glen, New York.
Oh, that's an actual place.
Yeah. I mean, it's a small.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Apparently.
it's the racetrack.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
making
It's
my
not
pick.
in New York City.
I gotta go
No.
to the bathroom, so my pick's Daniel Suarez.
It's not a road course.
Well, he-
No,
he's-
it is
he-
a road course.
He's
It
got,
is?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
You know
He-
not of what you speak.
I don't.
He
I
needs
don't know
to, he
anything
needs to win
about
to get in the
this.
playoff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
that's my pick.
Daniel
Oh, we know who you're going with.
The week bladder. Yes, I'm going to
Chase
go
Elliott.
with Chase Elliott, who finished second last week to Michael McDowell at Indianapolis. 9 team, I think, figured out a lot of stuff. He runs well at this track. He needs to win to get into the playoffs. I'm going to ride them all year. He's my guy. I'm picking with my heart, not my head, but the head works with the heart this time, too. I'm going Chase Elliott to get the win. Chris, tell me where Bubba Wallace is going to crash this week.
So I'm off the Bubba Wallace train. I didn't see any Asian drivers on the list here, so I'm going with Chase Briscoe.
Nice. Well, speaking of the Asian
Plus
driver.
5,000.
Plus 5,000, okay. Speaking of the Asian driver, he did get spun out by Ricky Stenhouse last week.
The guy I picked?
Ricky Stenhouse also spun out Jensen Button. So he was trying to take out every international driver.
Fuck
in
you,
the field.
Ricky, whatever the fuck your name is.
Hey, he fucked Danica Patrick.
So did Aaron Rodgers. So I don't like that guy.
They're Eskimo Brothers.
They are.
Wow. When did they talk about that?
Who you got, Ryan?
I don't,
After that, I forgot what who I was gonna pick, but no.
yeah, put that in the Google keywords. Eskimo Brothers.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
No.
That's
Well, you might get a clip from the league.
That's the podcast episode
Great show.
title.
Right,
Eskimo
right.
Brothers.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna go pretty kind of chalky here and go Kyle Larson. I believe he's won the last 2 races at Watkins Glen. So I'll go with Kyle Larson.
Got odds?
Plus 650 at BetMGM.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, not bad value.
I go down the list. I go down the line.
I know
somewhere,
you
yeah.
do. I think Chase Elliott's the only one that has better odds.
You also didn't know that this was on a road course this week.
Yeah,
Chris.
I don't. If it's not Richmond this far into the season, I don't give a shit.
By the way, Chase Elliott was plus 350. So definite chalk.
And what was he had Suarez? What is
Yeah,
Suarez?
Suarez plus
Daniel
1100.
Suarez.
Okay. Yeah, I'm plus 5,000. Let's go.
Here we go.
Didn't
All right.
Chase Briscoe win a road race this year?
I can't remember. There's so many fucking NASCAR
Yeah.
races. All
I
right.
don't know.
And
Sorry,
then,
NASCAR fans.
what one sportsbook, by the way, they were not using is WinBet because they are not in Virginia anymore.
Thanks, WinBet.
They
went
really
bye-bye.
go out of business?
They are not out of business. They just pulled out of Virginia and like a bunch of other states.
I think the online betting thing's not for them.
No, not so much. I think they were trying to find a buyer, and the buyer never really materialized. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
They
They-
still got the hotels and casinos, but
Come on, WinBet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're only doing sports betting in Massachusetts now.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yeah.
There we go.
well, they got a big ass resort in Boston. So
They got the resort in Boston? Really?
Yep.
I know they got that place in Vegas out there. But all
Yeah.
right. And then golf this week, the BMW Championship, the second round of the FedEx Cup playoffs. This taking place at Olympia Fields Country Club at the North Course in beautiful Olympia Fields, Illinois. Rory McIlroy is the favorite at plus 700 along with Scotty Scheffler. I am going to go with Max Homa this week, plus 2,200 to get a win. I think Max is knocking on the door. I think this will be another a big opportunity for him to bust through and submit himself among the upper echelon. I'm going to go with Max Homa plus 2,200.
knock knock, nobody's home. Your pick sucks.
What golfer's
do
name
you
can
have
you
a
not
pick?
pronounce?
I
this
got Kurt Kitayama plus 15,000.
Staying on the
Yeah.
the Asian kick. Huh?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
She hasn't dumped me
That
yet.
might be racist. So, what's his ethnicity?
I would assume Japanese.
You don't assume. That might be racist.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and figure that one out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the results for you.
Do you know?
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna tell you. I want you to find that one out there.
Well, he's American.
Scotty, you can go ahead with your pick there, sir.
So, I'm actually going John Rahm.
Rombo.
Yeah, I picked him a couple weeks ago, and I think he finished second. But plus 900 is actually not terrible for him. And this is a shorter field now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the last time this event was at this golf course was in 2020, and he won it. And he's been not playing every week, so I think he's going to be rested. And plus 900 is too good to pass up.
Right.
All right, I'm kind of going down with the same kind of theory and same line of thought that I had for NASCAR by picking Kyle Larson. I'm going to pick Patrick Cantlay. He's the two-time champion here at the BMW course, two-time defending champion at the course. Took Lucas Glover to extra holes last week. Seems like he's playing a little bit hot. Seems he's on the cusp of trying to, get a win here. So I'm going Patrick Cantlay. He's plus 1,100. Not sure of the book, to be honest with you. I want to say this is going to be BetMGM, but he's probably going to be around plus 1,100.
He's
in most books.
plus 10,000 on MGM right now.
1,000?
Yeah, plus 1,000.
Okay.
Sorry. Numbers are bad.
About to say, let me go bet that shit. Right?
I was going to
alone.
say, you may want to jump on
Yeah.
that if you can get that plus 10,000.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. And then, of course, college football coming up here in a couple of weeks, along with NFL as well. We'll have some more enthralling picks for football, which I think we'll probably hit at a higher clip, except for Chris, on those.
Japanese, motherfucker.
Okay, I just wanted you to know. I wanted to see you sweat. It took you that long.
Soundbite.
Yeah. Write that time code down. 41 minutes and 54 seconds. There we go. All right, so switching away from sports stuff here.
Piece of shit.
One thing I wanted to start off here with, there was a story. There was a bride who wants a refund for her wedding photos after the wedding photographer had sex with the groom after they were married. Now, apparently this was something that came through on Reddit. The story got picked up by Outkick. Allegedly, what happened here was this wedding photographer, he shot a wedding. His second shooter couldn't make it. So he found someone else to do the work. He did the wedding. Apparently, everything went off without a hitch. And then he says, quote, "This morning I got an email from the bride. She was wanting a refund because the lady I hired as a second shooter for the day ended up sleeping with her husband at some point after the wedding. And she also included photos from his phone to prove it."
After the when you mean after the wedding, like
I don't think it was like that
like
day.
not okay.
Yeah, it was like,
So what does this have to do with the wedding photos? She came and did her job.
yeah, sure. I think she's pissed off because like you introduced this person who's now defiled her marriage.
Okay, she's allowed to be pissed off.
But
It has nothing to do with the job she did. She did her job. She took pictures. She gets paid. Can't ask for a refund.
no givesies backsies on this.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
I
Yeah.
agree with you.
One thing has nothing to do with the other.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
All right, so homegirl brought a second person to shoot the wedding.
It was a guy. A guy had a photographer.
Okay.
The second photographer could not make it, so he hired another person.
It was a chick.
It was a chick,
Okay.
and this woman after the wedding, not
The same
the day of,
Okay.
but at some point after the wedding, I guess they got a little too friendly during the wedding, and this photographer, whatever, at some point afterwards, ended up sleeping with the groom,
Interesting.
and then the bride wants a refund.
Was there a definite timeline on the story or no?
They did not give a timeline. They just said
I
after the
read
wedding.
it and it seemed like it wasn't like
It wasn't like
near
immediate.
the wedding. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it might have been
Sometime after.
a couple months after, or 6 months, or whatever.
Yeah. So if you hire somebody to mow your lawn and then like a week later they fuck your wife, like, are you gonna ask him for the money back?
Goddamn right I am.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
This is like Dave.
No.
I'm just going to fucking steal his fucking equipment.
That's fine. That's okay. That's
Well, this is like Dave
Yeah, that's
Portnoy.
fine.
He had a girlfriend once that was going to Soul Cycle, and she was banging the Soul Cycle instructor. There's no allegedly
She was
on this.
sucking the soul out of him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, man.
Might be a podcast title.
We already got one.
Yeah.
One cheat. Everybody knows the rules.
But, there's no allegedly on this. He's talked about this a million times. But I don't know if he was paying for those classes, but let's say he was. Let's say you hire a personal trainer for your wife, and that you find out that personal
First
trainer
of all,
is banging your wife.
It better be a chick.
If it's on the job, then that's one thing.
Well, I'm not
it wasn't-
paying for a male trainer for my wife.
Why do you have to pay for it?
My wife goes to a male masseuse. I got no problem with that. You wouldn't let your wife go to a male trainer?
Chris's face.
But okay, so
I think that the chick is a scuzz bucket, and
wait, which chick? The chick that banged the groom, or the bride?
Why would I think the wife was a
Because she was
scuzz
asking
bucket?
for a refund.
No, I think she's entitled to at least half.
Fuck no.
No, man.
Here's what I
If it was that saying, if it was
If it was within the year,
no.
give her half back.
If it's not the same night, then you don't get a refund.
Where is this in the contract?
There's
exactly.
no contract.
She took pictures.
If you don't fuck my husband in the year, there's no refund.
What,
but if you do, I want half back.
Is the wife blaming the girl like, oh, he wasn't gonna cheat ever? It was just because of her. No.
maybe
He probably cheated before that. with
maybe
somebody
as the
else.
business owner, he should have
Yeah, he's
hired
probably a dickhead too. But
She came, she did her job, she should get paid.
She did her job.
may have-
little
she may
bit
have
well.
changed.
And then
She did a lot of
And then
things.
she did some other jobs.
She did some other jobs. Yeah. All right,
what if it was the dude
true.
that banged the husband? Would you ask for the refund then?
Well, I think it's infidelity is infidelity. That if you're saying if the male photographer banged the husband,
Yeah.
well, that's still cheating.
Right. So would you ask for the refund?
I think she would still ask for the refund. I think she's upset that
Do you think she's entitled to any?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I could see where her frustration comes from. I don't think she's entitled for shit, especially because this person was not a direct employee. This person filled in for another person. So that tells me it's probably an independent contractor. If I have a company and you three work for me, which by the way I would never hire any
You
three
would
of you.
still be responsible for our actions.
Yeah, but
No.
it's less if it's an independent contractor.
It's not.
If
If it's not the night of the wedding, it's a separate altercation, or what did Jada call it? Entrapment.
Entanglement.
Entanglement. If it's not the same night, it's not connected. It doesn't
slap shit out of you.
Are we beefing with Will Smith right now? I hope so.
Yeah, he can slap you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'll take it.
I didn't keep his wife's name.
Just get it on video. Just get it on video, please.
All right, so we're all in agreement that this woman
No,
is up
I think
shit
she's
creek
never.
without a paddle.
Chris
Yeah.
thinks she should get
I
a
think
refund.
all cheaters are the worst. So, I hope she gets everything in that divorce.
Who cheated on you? We'll save that story for another day.
Oh, we're gonna get to it later. Don't worry.
Well,
Tease.
we may be getting into that now. All right, so I saw this story. This kind of segues into something else too. There was a landlord in China.
Why?
That sounds like a. Yeah.
What,
Did you
Go
just
ahead.
hit the wrong
Sorry.
button?
I stopped it.
Oh, okay.
I stopped it. That
Did I
was
step on you? My
a
bad.
premature buttonlation right there. I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah,
and
it
do that.
happens.
We've all been there. We've all hit the button a little too soon.
Did you put this in the rundown?
Yeah, there was a landlord in China who detailed a tenant that didn't take out the trash for a year.
That's fucking disgusting.
This story is in the New York Post. This landlord's name is Ji from the Qingdao city in the Shandong province of China.
Shangda.
Man out here.
Yeah, that's why he did
When
that.
did you take Chinese?
That might be racist. It's not racist. I think you sounded like it might be, right?
You know,
That might be racist.
I ain't passed the bar, but I know a little bit.
It sounded like
But-
it might be right.
Anyway, they were stunned when the resident there hadn't taken out the trash for a year. They put up a film August 10th. The female tenant, which, by the way, you usually don't think gross people to be women.
Question.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they know it had been a year?
Well, I'm assuming they just looked at the mess and figured,
Probably how long he had been there.
yeah. they
Why
looked at
did
their
nobody
lease.
check before them?
I don't think a lot of landlords are busting into places that people are renting,
Motherfucker, they do maintenance all the time.
But this is a private person. Maybe there was no like maintenance that was messed up or anything. You know,
Fair enough.
the water heater is not broken. They got no need to come in. But they posted their trash was piled up so high it reached the windows.
Good God.
Apparently, the scent coming from the garbage pile was literally the worst that G had ever encountered. He said he thought he might vomit. The trash was even shown in the video, explaining he cleaned some of it up, but it was still there. And this is a picture which you can't quite see, but this is some of the garbage there and stuff.
Is that the girl?
Around them? That's the girl with the trash huddled around her there. You can see the bigger pile of trash.
So is the trash like old
Surrounding
food or?
It looks like clothes, packages, food, like just
Like she hadn't taken
purses.
a shower in a while.
Yeah.
too.
Just
She
some of everything there.
Yeah.
How does this person afford to even compile that much trash?
Maybe they're just
How-
dirty. Maybe they make money, but they're
maybe
just
the rent
dirty.
was cheap.
Maybe.
Yeah. So this leads me into, I'm sure we all, had a roommate like this that was dirty, maybe didn't take out the trash. Maybe you were the bad roommate. What's the worst roommate encounter that you've ever had? Scotty, I'll start with you. Or
Are you
Vladimir,
starting with me?
I'll start
Okay.
with you.
So, I've had a few bad roommates. I've had some people steal some shit from me when they moved out, but I'm actually going to go with the most hilarious / awkward encounter I've had with a roommate. So, it's a long time ago. My buddy Steve, I was living with him.
Hey, Steve, we love you.
Yeah, y'all have met him. He was at Hooters that one night.
Yeah, it's the one Ryan doesn't like.
Yeah, I wasn't too fond of Steve. but please subscribe, Steve.
Yeah, he probably hasn't yet.
Damn it, Steve. I still don't like you.
Because he was shit talking NC State.
Yeah. I don't know whether I ever heard of that school. I'm like,
Steve's cool.
Can't wait for the draft.
Yeah, he's our champion. So, but okay, so
Jesus Christ.
I went on a date with this girl. We went to the movies.
Whoa, you went on a date?
Yeah, it happens every now and then.
Oh.
How much did you pay?
Well, we went to the movies, so it was probably a lot. It was probably our second or third date, and things are going well. And the movie ends. We go back to the apartment because me and Steve were living in an apartment. And
Living in sin?
Yes, him and Steve were living in sin.
okay, so we get back to the apartment, and because she had just parked her car there, and then I drove or whatever. So we get back, and I asked her. I said, "Hey, do you want to come up?" There was no way I thought she was gonna say yes because she was just like a super sweet girl. It seems like she was gonna want to take things like super slow. So just like I was like, "Oh, I'll shoot my shot. Why not? You want to come up?" And she said yes. I was like, "All right." So apparently,
COVID.
yeah. So Steve had texted me a couple times to see where I was at or whatever, and I hadn't checked my phone like all night, and so I didn't see the text. He had no idea I was bringing a girl up, so this is 100% my fault. So I get up to the apartment. I open the door, and Steve has all the lights off, like he likes to do. He has 2 candles lit. Okay.
Oh, no.
He's sitting in the living room with no shirt on, just
Oh, no.
just basketball shorts. Okay.
Wait, I thought you said you live with Steve and not Chris.
Yeah, the basketball shorts thing is just a coincidence. Okay?
High fashion down there.
And I like this girl too. And she was hot, she was nice, whatever. We won't go through all the attributes, but we walk in and I see him. I'm just like, what the fuck can I do with this? So I was just like, I'm gonna act like this didn't happen. So, I try to be normal. Like, hey, this is Steve. This is I don't remember the girl's name, but this is so and so. And then Steve's like, shit. So he tries to make like conversations for a couple minutes, and it's just super awkward. And then after a couple minutes, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to bed. He goes to his room, and then we sit down on the couch. Not even a minute, less than a minute. She's like, oh, well, I gotta go. Took off, and I got a text a few minutes later. Yeah, I don't see this going anywhere. I'm like, motherfucker. I will never forget that.
Is Steve a hairy guy?
He is.
He's
He is. Yeah.
Did he play linebacker? Was he a bear? That could mean a lot of things.
He could play a bear.
So what was
more
Steve
ways
just-
than one?
So Steve was just sitting in the dark with 2 candles
So
on the
was he
couch.
That's what
meditating?
With his
he likes to
basketball
light.
shorts?
He likes to light candles.
Was he
and
jerking off
cut the lights
stale fish?
off.
I mean,
I hope
what
not.
was he?
He had
what was
no
he doing
idea.
on the couch?
He had no. I mean,
Spice Channel was on.
I mean, I was basically renting a room from him.
Scrambled
So, I mean,
Cinemax.
I mean, yeah,
like,
he can do what
it's
he
his
wants to
living
do.
room. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was just watching TV. He had no idea I was
he's watching
bringing a girl
TV,
back.
all right.
So I can't even imagine what this girl was like thinking my intentions were when she like walked in. It was like, what the
Oh, y'all were
She
gonna
was like-
Eiffel Tower that bitch.
Tag Team 2, Electric Boogaloo.
She was like, I get the fuck out of here.
And we never talked after that.
As many women watch like those murder documentaries and stuff too. She's like, I'm
Right,
gonna wind up
exactly.
in a suitcase in Kentucky.
Exactly.
And get the fuck out of there.
That was before the
She
murder
seemed like
craze
she might
got-
be one of those girls too that watches
We
this
got.
stuff.
She's like, we got the guy on the couch with the basketball shorts on, and then
ready
we got
for the ritual.
And nothing
then we got
else.
Vladimir Zelensky on meth. On a train on me or something.
So
Just like
choo choo.
Get the hell out of here.
the moral of that story is if you have roommates, let them know that you're bringing a girl over.
Correct.
Yes. So mine isn't as traumatizing as that. This is one of my best friends who shall remain nameless. We lived together, and he was very dirty as a roommate. In fact, he lived downstairs. There was 3 guys that lived in this apartment. Me and another guy lived upstairs. This friend lived downstairs. So the downstairs bathroom, of course, was like the communal bathroom as well. We all had restrooms in our bedrooms. His was like outside of his bedroom because it was also the communal one. You would go in there and like literally there were mushrooms growing in his tub.
What?
Yeah. And it was like pink. It looked like somebody, we had a friend visit one day that says, it looks like somebody slaughtered a pig down there. It was like, yeah, that was the communal bathroom.
What the fuck?
Maybe
So-
he was.
He dated this girl.
He was able to date a girl
Yeah,
with the bathroom like
he
that?
he did quite well. Well, he would clean up when he had to. Like
Did
when
he
the-
pick the mushrooms and fucking eat them later?
Bleach does one. Well, you know what? He didn't kill
Right.
anyone like that Australian woman that we'll talk about in a little bit.
That's a tease.
Yeah. So yeah, no, he would clean up when he had to, and he had a girlfriend at the time who was quite fetching. I will say that. But she was also a pretty wild girl. And
She probably
So
did the
she-
shrooms
I
with
was
him.
gonna say she liked the mushrooms.
like the shrews.
Yeah.
She liked the tub shrooms.
Oh, you grow your own mushrooms? Wow.
He's a horticulturist. So one day, our other roommate is passed out on the couch after a night of drinking. I'm upstairs in my room.
Jerking off stalefish.
Stalefish, you know it.
There you go.
Roommate
like a
is
stranger.
downstairs. Roommate is about to go out to brunch with said girlfriend. She, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but she had brought a dildo with her when she came
Nice.
to visit this weekend,
Oh, yeah.
and
Spice it up.
she threw it at the roommate that was passed out on the couch sleep.
No, God.
And this thing hits
Was it one of
him.
the suction cups?
No, it was
Oh,
like
it didn't stick on his forehead?
no, it didn't stick on his forehead. That would have been great. And this thing hits him right in the face, and he wakes up, and there's just like this donger, just like right next to him. It was like Scotty in college. It was just like a donger right
Like
next to
Scotty
him.
fucking this morning.
Yeah, and they proceed to have like a huge blow up, and that actually precipitated the breakup of this relationship.
Yeah, it's kind
here.
of fucked up that you're just chucking a dildo at somebody's face.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, she was hot enough that you would put up with the bullshit, though. But that might have been over.
Was it like a solid
over a
one or was
line.
it like rubbery?
Why do you know so much about dildos?
Well, he's actually a lot of questions about
Yeah, I
it.
know.
But, I mean, I'm trying to figure out the extent of this guy's injuries
Look,
here.
The extent of what?
The injuries.
I came downstairs.
You came?
And twice. I came downstairs. I took a peek because I heard all the commotion. I saw what was going on. I proceeded to laugh my ass off
As
and
you
go
should.
back upstairs.
Yep.
It looked to me from my distance, which was probably 15 feet away and elevated. I was on the grassy knoll with the second shooter. It looked to be pretty solid.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So it probably hurt.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
dildo or
The dildo.
The dildo.
it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably made out of plastic,
Now, I don't know if this was used or not.
not silicone.
I mean, obviously it was used at some
they're
point.
all used, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
She didn't go buy it.
I don't know if it
yeah,
was-
who gives a shit? He
If it
got
was-
hit in the face with it,
if
and it was solid.
recently used, that would make it even worse.
Would it? Was he getting
I
any
don't know.
action?
Oh, the roommate they got hit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was a coxman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
why they-
so it's just more pussy juice on his face.
We
Who
used
cares?
to. We used
That's
to
why
play.
they broke up?
Yeah, that's why they broke up. We used to
What
play.
a breakup story.
We used to play guess the shoes for the one that got hit in the face to what girl was upstairs at the time. That
Good for
weekend.
him.
Yeah.
Why'd you and Jessica break up? You're like, well,
Well, she hummed a dildo. But yeah, that was my bad roommate story. Usually it's me. is probably the bad roommate because, I'm drunk. I cut myself opening things. The same roommate one time I took I was trying to make ribs and I couldn't find something to open the package properly. So I took a knife and I wedged the knife on my chest with the end pointing out. And I put the ribs right here, and I tried to thrust forward and open the package. And the knife, of course, went askew and went across my hand. And, I mean, it was like Mount St. Helens, just blood everywhere.
I had it was a minor cut, but I had like one of those like ceramic knives.
Yeah.
And they feel plastic, so I'm like, oh, this isn't going to do any damage. So I was cutting something and cut through it, and like I sliced my finger a little bit. I'm like, I felt like such a dumbass.
You should have shook hands. We could have been blood brothers, as opposed to the Eskimo Brothers of Aaron Rodgers and Ricky Zenhouse.
Rather not get AIDS from any of y'all.
Wow.
Just throwing it out there.
Jeez.
AIDS 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I mean, if you were going to get AIDS, wouldn't you
Blood-
want it to be
blood-
from one of us?
Wouldn't you want it to be for someone you know?
Yeah.
No. No.
Well, Chris, your roommate story, it sounds quite...
Come to me last.
well,
Ryan, we got Ryan still.
he's been come down before.
I feel like that might be a theme in his story, too.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't have anything that's even remotely close to
Wait, hold on.
what you
Hold
guys.
on. When you lived with
talking
people, was this pre-integration or after? Because that opens up a whole other level of stories. If there was like a police raid, it's like, you can't live with these people.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Yes, exactly. I said a lot of my former roommates are actually
Fugitives of the law.
No, or subscribers to the.
Oh.
So I don't want to
That makes it even better.
divulge stories where they're like, fuck these guys.
Fair enough.
Undescribed.
That's why I went with like a funny story.
Wait a minute. Are your roommates freedom riders? Were y'all freedom riders back in the day?
No, they weren't freedom riders or
That might be racist.
anything with the.
The Montgomery bus boycott? Were you there?
Civil rights movement. No, none of
Well,
that.
thank you guys for subscribing.
Right, and thank you for marching. If it wasn't for you, we couldn't be here right now. So thank you.
Correct. We would not be in the same room.
Yeah.
We'd be in separate but equal podcast rooms.
Well, we are
Now we're-
divided. We are segregated in this room, so I'm
now you're
not
here.
sure if my job is done yet.
We shall overcome, Ryan. We shall overcome.
Now we're all here, and you're watching our award-winning podcast.
Yeah. We won the That Might Be Racist podcast award for 2023.
We got a shot. If that becomes real, we got a shot.
Well, it's probably us and what I don't even know who else is on there.
Well, I'm not going to name
the David
anybody.
Duke cast. I don't know. All right, but yeah, we shall overcome. And someone who's been cummed over, Chris Green. How was your roommate story, sir?
So I love my current roommates very much. Shout out to Kara, Gretchen, and Angie.
Preface.
Talk some
Must be about
doxing
them.
here.
Yeah, but shit. It's been about 8 years.
That's burn.
My previous roommate, before I moved back home, was an ex-girlfriend, and she cheated on me. So that's the worst roommate experience I've ever had.
Was it in your bed?
No.
How did you find out?
Her Facebook was logged in on my tablet.
Ah, shit. I got a similar story.
Messages
Messages
would pop up.
Did you ask her was he bigger than you?
No, I didn't care. I wanted to kill both of them, but I did not.
Hey, we can't say these things on YouTube.
You
I
just,
said I wanted to. Didn't say I did.
you just triggered a memory because I have a similar story.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm not going into all that right now. It's too long. It's too
Cheating
long to tell.
podcast now.
But yeah,
Too long to tell
so
that story.
I lost the Pomeranian dog that we had together, but I kept the other dog, so it's cool.
Well, that leads into another story. I saw, I think it was Fox 5 DC, I think, had a video. I don't think I put it in there for you guys. There's another show I help out with. I sent it to, but
Yeah, fuck that guy.
there's
He
a
doesn't subscribe.
there's a lot of things right now where people are putting in prenups for the pets.
You did send that.
I did send that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
What do you guys feel about that? So if a couple breaks up, let's say it's a marriage and they split up, should there be a prenup for the pet?
Yes. Pets are the new kids for people that can't afford kids.
Or don't want kids like me?
Correct.
Or should I have children?
Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah,
No.
I've been trying to raise your child for years.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this is a new trend. I figured like this had just been going on. I mean, people love their pets.
It's a millennial Gen Z thing for sure. But
a lot of
yes, prenups should be signed for pets because that can get very awkward. We were supposed to have visitation rights between the two dogs 10 years ago when we broke up, but that never happened.
It's got a little real.
Did you take it to court or anything?
No.
Yeah, I had an
She took the one dog, I took the other one. We saw.
So you broke up a family.
We took the dogs to hang out like for the first 2 weeks, and that was the end of that.
So the dog lost his brother.
Yes, my dog lost her brother. Yes,
Do you pay dog support?
absolutely not. No,
Three.
I don't know if that dog's still alive. To be honest,
His 3 milk bones a week.
Yeah.
Pomeranians are notoriously bad for health.
Well,
So
You got like supervised visits. You got like a social worker like watching.
get a vet.
yeah. Ryan, what
There's an
about you?
SPCA
Did you lose a goldfish or something like that in the college breakup?
Honestly, I've
You look
never.
like a goldfish guy.
I was going to say, honestly, I've never, when I was growing up, I never had a pet that lived outside of a aquarium.
Wow.
Never owned a dog, never
it.
owned a cat. My mother just wasn't having
That's
pets.
fair. Yeah.
Like she said, you're not going to take care of them because you're always playing a sport or
Out and about.
doing out and about, doing whatever. And
Helping out with reconstruction.
Jesus Christ.
Can we play that boo sounder?
Yeah, did it.
It's delayed. Oh, it didn't work that time.
I thought
No, what
Leon
happened?
was going.
There it is.
I thought Leon was going with a race angle, but he didn't do it.
What, the black parents don't like you to have pets? Well, that's...
Well, I was thinking dogs.
No. My mother was always like, you know, the neighbor's dog down the street. I had a dog. My first dog that was mine was a German Shepherd named Kimball, and my mother's always like, you can always go down to the Fords and play with Kimball. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, that's actually like your dog. And I was like 5 or 6. Oh, okay. So you know what? So I just go down there and start being in the backyard. And my mother used to call
actually
Mrs. Ford up and be
fucking
like,
brilliant.
yeah, call up Mrs. Ford. Hey, Ryan's coming over. He'll be in your backyard in about 5 minutes.
Good for your
Let
mom.
let her play with Kimball.
Your
You
mom
know
is
what?
a
Your mom was
jazz.
living in the year 3000, man. That's
Yes.
just next level parenting right
Yeah.
there.
That's parenting hack.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, kids, I want a PlayStation 5. You know what? Tommy next door, his PlayStation 5 is your PlayStation 5.
Right,
Go, you know what? Here, I'll buy you a game. It was $9.99 on sale.
Yep.
Go
Next
over there.
level parenting.
That's
Beautiful.
next level right there.
Absolutely beautiful.
I can
wish
parent. Look at that.
I
Smart
thought of
woman.
that 10 years ago.
He's gonna start doing that now.
Right.
Too late now. Chris's kid will put his ass in the Kimura and tap him out.
Yeah.
Timmy's Jordans are your Jordans too.
He can just take food.
Thank God all he wants to wear is Crocs.
Your kid wears Crocs all the time? Yeah. Do kids,
Everywhere.
is that a him thing or do kids wear Crocs? Is that
No,
like,
Kids wear
kids wear
Crocs.
Crocs. No, he's in a pajama face too. He's wearing pajamas.
I noticed last
everywhere
week he
now.
had pajamas on when I saw him.
Everywhere.
Is
Is that what teenage boys wear now?
Yes.
He just wants to
Teenage
be
boys,
comfortable.
Girls. Yeah.
Lucky you.
He doesn't give a fuck. T-shirt, pajama pants, Crocs.
So what is back to school shopping is $20 at Walmart, just a bunch of pajama pants?
It ain't gonna be me.
Nice.
His mom will figure that out.
Do they let kids wear like pajama pants to school, or is that
That I'm
Oh.
not sure about.
like okay? Just one.
I mean, he's got plenty of shorts, basketball shorts, whatever.
Of course.
of course, yes. Basketball
Are those
shorts.
pass me downs?
No, he still can't fit in my fat ass fucking shorts yet.
All right. Well, last story before we get out of here. One thing I alluded to earlier. Not sure if you guys saw this story about the Australian woman who. This is just a weird story altogether here. So she is in trouble right now because she did kill her family. But whether it was
Allegedly or for real?
no, she actually did kill them. It's whether she meant to do it or not. So there was an Australian woman that cooked Beef Wellington, and it killed 4 of her guests. And apparently this Beef Wellington wasn't undercooked or anything of that nature. Apparently she may have used something called death cap mushrooms, which are responsible for 90% of all toxic mushroom-related fatalities. It's not the Aaron Rodgers, ayahuasca, mushroom kind of stuff. Yes, sir.
Where does one get these mushrooms?
Well, allegedly...
Leon's roommates.
Yeah, well, supposedly, like, nobody knew that, like, they were kind of mixed in with, like,
Yeah.
regular mushrooms, right? So nobody really knew.
Yeah, so she bought mushrooms.
Supposedly.
She allegedly, according to the story, bought mushrooms at 2 separate places. One was like a grocery store, like a normal grocery store, and another was like a Asian supermarket.
That might be racist.
Why
is that racist?
Fucking start. I'm gonna get dumped over this now.
Well, I'm just going with what the story says. This is from Sky News from the UK, well, the Australian version of Sky News. Erin Patterson, 48 years old, cooked the beef at her home. Cooked the Beef Wellington at their home in Leongatha, which is a small rural town.
Can I say
outside
something
of Melbourne,
real quick?
Australia? Yeah.
Stop raising your hand.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Gordon Ramsay, for this Beef Wellington bullshit.
Hey.
This
What's wrong with
shit,
Beef Wellington?
It tastes like
Hey.
dog shit.
Have you ever
It
had
looks like dog shit.
a proper Beef Wellington?
It's a fucking hot pocket.
Where are you eating
Just
your Beef
eat a
Wellington?
fucking hot pocket.
Leave the Ramses alone. No relation, of course. Also not related to John Bonet. So,
Jesus.
That's a
You keep-
callback from like episode 2.
Yeah.
you keep asking me about it, Leon. You like text me like 3 in
But
the
yeah,
morning.
Beef Wellington, not that exciting. TikTok, stop it.
You never had a proper.
It's a hot pocket.
Leon will just text me at 3 in the morning. Are you sure you're not related to John Bonet?
Positive.
And
Were you
leave me
there?
alone.
Were you there?
Leave me alone.
Was it your DNA?
Amen.
But apparently this lady had a death wall like in her room filled up with like in her home filled up with like a lot of like weird death messages and scrolls, and there's some weird stuff going on here. But
White people shit.
yeah,
Well, it was like stick figure drawings with
Yeah.
like just weird sayings talking
Yeah.
about people dying.
That's white people shit.
But she's fine, right?
she ate it too. She went to the
Yeah, sure
hospital.
she did.
She lived. There was another relative that lived. Her ex-husband. Apparently, this was supposed to be like a reconciliation dinner for them. He did not show up.
Oh, good for him.
And allegedly, he had a mysterious like illness where he was in a coma maybe for like a year ago. They're going back now and like going through all this stuff and trying to figure out what was going on. Maybe
She had a
may have
voodoo
been
doll.
poisoning people before.
Yeah.
But what's the recourse if you eat a meal at someone's home and it damn near kills you? Like, can you stay friends with that person?
Oh, fuck no. Absolutely not.
If
If I ate your food and you poisoned me, first of all, I would never eat your food.
You ate my steak. I overcooked it, but you ate it.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
didn't buy
nobody
it.
was getting sick off of that.
You didn't buy it. We saw you prep it.
That's very true. All right, I gotta go to the restroom.
Of course you do. So yeah, if
The weak bladder episode. Oh God!
I wish we had another.
if we had another
Can somebody
camera.
fucking film this real quick?
For the people watching, we have the camera, so I probably look fucking crazy when I left earlier. But we have the camera mounted right at the stairwell, so we kind of gotta like duck. Yeah, so Leon probably looks crazy.
Leon look like he's about to do a damn military drill.
It's gonna be even better when he comes back up.
Yes. Make sure one of y'all record that. We'll put it up as a short. No. We can't see it. You got to use your phone to get him coming through the opening. So yeah, if one of y'all motherfuckers poisons me, we're never talking again.
Oh no, there's no coming back from that shit. It's like
Well, I don't really cook.
Cook
much.
your food to temp.
Yeah.
Fucking do it the right way.
I doubt y'all will ever eat anything I cook anyway. So
Yeah, I don't think I would trust anything you would cook.
well, I don't
Scotty.
really cook. So
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm saying like it wasn't just like one person that got sick. I think like the whole
The
Yeah,
whole family.
dinner party
yeah.
or whatever got
but she was
sick
fine.
because she probably didn't eat it because she probably was like, that shit
Leon
don't
said
look
she
good.
ate it.
No,
but
she
probably went to the
He
bathroom.
said she got sick, but
She probably went to the bathroom and puked it out. You guys ever watched Breaking Bad?
no.
Have you watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I haven't seen that episode, particular
I
episode.
know
Well,
it's
when
filmed in
I-
Albuquerque in your meth head Zelensky.
So actually, a funny story about that. This guy that works at the Albuquerque plant came where I work at. He came and trained with me a little bit. He was saying like people would they had to like block the house off because people kept throwing pizzas on top of the roof. Because that's one of the famous scenes. Like Walter White
Oh,
gets mad.
yeah,
because
yeah.
He buys a pizza and he's trying to
Yep.
like reconcile.
Yeah.
So he gets mad and throws it up on the roof. So he said people just throw pizzas up on the roof.
So yeah,
But yeah,
people on YouTube, stop fucking making beef Wellington. It's fucking gross.
Yeah, doesn't. So is that the one that is like wrapped in?
It's wrapped in the puff pastry.
Okay.
Got the mushrooms ground up and
Yeah,
just eat cheesesteaks.
and it's like not bloody red, but basically.
It's rare or medium rare. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had it. I don't think so.
It looks like a hot pocket. except for no cheese, and that's fucking stupid. Oh, somebody get your phone out.
He moved too
Let's
fast.
go.
He moved too fast.
First of all, nobody's ever said that about him ever.
We did at the Bourbon Festival.
That is agile right there.
That is
not
absolutely
agile.
not.
That's
Finally-
a lot of things, but not agile.
You know, as long as illustrious as my radio career was, I've never had to leave during the middle of a segment to take a leak. This podcast just brings out the worst in me.
Sounds like you're getting old,
Yeah, a little bit.
getting soft.
I'm sure there was some scintillating conversation.
We talked
while I
about
was
Breaking
gone.
Bad, Hot Pockets.
Oh yeah, so the
and-
Breaking Bad episode is when Gus like kills a bunch of people and he poisons the tequila and he takes a shot, but he goes to the bathroom and throws
Pukes
up.
it up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think that's
I've
what
seen
that lady.
one.
I think that's what that lady did. She ate it and then she probably went to the bathroom and puked it up. So she
So
went to
she
the
did do
hospital,
it on
but she was
purpose.
fine. I think so.
Fuck that bitch.
All right, well, last story here of the night. We'll see if this happened on purpose or not. Michael Orr, former Ole Miss Rebel, former Baltimore Raven, former Carolina Panther. Who else did he play for?
Tennessee Titans,
Tennessee Titans. I think that was his last team, right?
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, he lives
He
in
didn't
outside
play for that
Nashville.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Michael Orr, we all know the story, The Blind Side. We've all seen The Blind Side, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's one of the movies I have seen.
Okay, well, you know, unlike Michael Orr, you've seen a bed before, too, allegedly. Remember in the movie? He goes, I never had one before. Sandra
Yeah.
Bullock goes, what, a room? A bed?
Yeah.
If I was Michael Orr, by the way, I would have been so pissed at,
No.
in that scene.
He was pissed.
Right
He,
there, I
he
know.
never liked how he's portrayed in the
Right.
movie.
Yeah,
They make him
really.
seem like stupid. And
He was a
like,
useful idiot, essentially.
Yeah.
Was yeah.
Yeah, he's many interviews about that.
Yeah, well, Michael Orr now suing the Tui family, his adopted family, which may or may not have actually adopted him. Apparently, it may have been a conservatorship, a la Britney Spears.
Interesting.
And he wants some back money that he feels has been withheld from him by the Tui family from this movie. Excuse me, there. I kind of just tossed it around with you guys. Obviously, in the court of public opinion, the Tui family is getting slammed right now, but.
yeah.
Did you guys ever watching the movie? I mean, hindsight's 2020, but when it first came out, did you guys ever feel like the story's too good to be true, or it's fake, or
Well,
what do you guys
knew
think?
I knew the mom, Sandra Bullock, coming out onto the football field, and I knew that was fake. And her calling the coach,
Hey.
saying, "Run the ball." Like, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, but that coach was, that was supposed to be Hugh Freeze, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh, really?
we know about Hugh Freeze and the phone calls and the massage parlors and all that stuff. So, Pretty Woman walks out on the field. I don't know if Hugh Freeze is going to turn and look the other way. You know, he might have listened there. And besides, you saw what Sandra Bullock had on when she walked out there. She was looking good. I will listen to her. I would
Yeah,
run the
but
ball.
that was Sandra Bullock.
Not Leanne Tui.
Right.
That's very true.
Yeah, the whole story seemed a little white knightish for me. Rich white family comes in and
That might be racist. like
You were implying that,
like
yes.
Jerry Heller and NWA.
what?
The
Jerry.
National Wrestling Alliance?
No, the rap group.
Oh, never heard
Their
of
No.
it.
agent.
Sure.
But, I'm
but
sorry.
yeah,
Ryan's got
coming
it.
in,
All right.
saving the black guy from his family or whatever was going on. I don't know what the specifics were of what actually happened with him, but it seemed to be too good to be true. They're putting him up, and at the end, like when he was going to talk to the NCAA board,
Yeah.
like that seemed like the most real thing out of anything. Like they coerced him to go to Ole Miss, because who the fuck wants to go to Ole Miss if you got offers from everybody else?
Great incident. Back then, the Rebs were quite good, and they're only come up now. But back then, the Rebs were quite good at football.
Yeah, but there were better teams.
Who was LSU, and Nick Saban was there at LSU, which, by the way, Saban would not wear LSU tie or anything LSU in that movie, because when that movie came out, he was coaching at Alabama
Yeah.
then. So he would not wear anything LSU. And what's actually funny is Houston Nutt is actually coaching Ole Miss in that movie at the time.
Right.
Houston Nutt filed a lawsuit against Ole Miss after he got fired when they did the FOIA request for phone records and stuff. That's what came across the phone records of Hugh Freeze in the massage parlor and texting the girls and stuff like that. That's what brought Hugh Freeze down at Ole Miss, was Houston Nutt
Wow.
and his lawsuit.
And what a fitting last name.
Yeah.
But anyways, it seemed really out there. As coming from where I've come from, like that doesn't happen.
Yeah, like the scene where they have him like after a basketball game or whatever, and he's like picking up people's leftover popcorn. Like,
What's wrong with that? Maybe he's a nice kid.
No.
He was picking up to
getting
eat it.
Eating it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was. It's been so long since I've seen it. I thought he was.
No,
throwing
he's
it
not
away.
a Japanese soccer fan.
He knew where I was going with that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that pissed him off. But the fact that they did a what is it called, a conservatorship?
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you all you need to know right there. So they told him it was the same as an adoption. Like, no, the fuck it's not. Like, why wouldn't they just adopt him?
I think the biggest thing that we're going to see the next few days is like timeline issues because he's saying that he wasn't with them for that long, but then the little brother SJ in the movie, who by the way he stole the kid that played SJ stole the movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, SJ was on with Barstool on Barstool Radio as we tape this on Tuesday night. He was on there yesterday, Monday afternoon, and he's saying, "Hey, I love Mike. Mike is my brother. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I am mad at him over how this is going down, but he's my brother." But he's saying, "Hey, this wasn't a couple months. Like I got multiple years of Christmas cards. Like we're together. Like we're, blah blah blah." So some things are off from a timeline standpoint. But
but he also said that he understands why he's mad.
yeah, and
I mean,
he lamented too. He wants him to get his money, everything he's legally owed. I think SJ in that interview kind of intimated that the family didn't receive that much money from the movie either. Like the movie studios are going to make their money, and then everyone else is going to get it afterwards.
They sold the story.
well, they got like 250 or 225,000 initially.
We're gonna find out how much money
Yeah.
they got.
They said they said they split it amongst all of them. Like the dad got the same amount as SJ, as the same amount as his sister. Like everybody supposedly got the same amount. So it's probably $1 million+
We're gonna find
Disney
out.
had given that family.
The conservatorship, like, you're in high school. You don't know what a conservatorship. I didn't know what it was until the Britney Spears thing a couple of years ago. Like, that's the whole. The fact that they did that tells me all I need to know.
I think that might be. Now, I'm the lawyer, and obviously there's a lot of stuff that we got to have come out on this, but I think that may be part of the timeline because, I mean, obviously he was of late high school age, about to go to college. Maybe by the time everything was said and done, when the ink was signed on the papers, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was 18 at that point. Maybe that's why the conservatorship was set up. And then you can't adopt an adult. I did see there was some documentary I was watching. No, it wasn't a documentary. It was
But
a TV show.
why would he need a conservatorship at that point?
I guess because he didn't really have anyone to kind of be a guardian for him, to look out for him, even though he's a legal adult.
Sure.
See, yeah, that's where it gets a little sketchy.
If that's really your real son, you don't need to do a conservatorship.
Correct.
Like I watched the thing. There was a Florida Atlantic volleyball player, and she had transferred from somewhere, and like she didn't have a relationship with her dad. Stepdad pretty much had like raised her, but it was like when she was a late teenager. Like this girl had grew up, and then this guy came into life later. They had this strong bond. He's going to all their games, so she actually asked him. She's like a senior, I think, at FAU now, but like she asked him, "Can you adopt me? Will you be my dad?" And it's more of a symbolic thing because she's a grown woman now.
Yeah.
But maybe it was something like that, where it's like by the time everything was said and done, he was 18. He's a legal adult.
So I guess everything hasn't come out in the mix yet, but I want to know at what point did Michael Orr realize that he was getting duped on money? Like, was it, I guess when he's at Ole Miss, he wasn't making any money. I mean, that was legit. I mean, I'm sure he's probably getting some money under the table, boosters and stuff like that. But like, when did he know I'm missing money? Was it like when he signed with an agent and the agent was kind of looked into things for him? Like, yeah, what about this Blindside thing? Did you make any money off of all that?
So, if I'm understanding the article correctly, it said February of this year.
Yeah, February this year
is when he realized like he wasn't getting anything from the movie.
That's crazy to me.
But then SJ said all this stuff is documented.
So his lawyer or agent did him a disservice for what, 15 years now?
Exactly.
Right.
Like, why now? And SJ said that everything was documented and that Michael Orr had come to the family before. He wasn't surprised his lawsuit was filed, that he'd come to the family before asking, "Hey, pay me or this is all going to come out."
Was it in writing?
No, it was I don't know. From what he said, it sounded like it was verbal, but he says everything's documented. So I don't know.
Yeah, that just, it seems like a shame. I feel like there's more to this story.
The problem
that he may have approached them years ago
The
and it
problem
wasn't just February.
is they made the story about them when it was really about Michael, and they should have never gotten anything in the first place.
Well, I don't know so much as them making it about them. It's just, I mean, it wasn't a Disney movie. Who made that movie?
It was Disney.
Was it Disney? I don't think it was Disney.
It was
Okay,
Disney.
well, it's a Disneyfication of stuff. I mean, like, look at Remember the Titans, you know? That's so much untruths in that movie. Like, they act like that team was, like, squeaking by, winning these miraculous games. They beat the fuck out of everyone. They were a super team. You know, like, all these sports movies are lies for the most part. You know?
Yeah,
like,
but Remember the Titans
Rudy was
was
offside.
about the team. The Blind Side was about Michael Orr.
Well, it was about Michael Orr, and it was a two-pronged. It was about him, and it was about that family, too.
Yeah.
Taking him in.
It shouldn't have been about the family.
But, I mean, I think you don't have that story without the family deciding
The
to bring him in.
family white knighting the poor black guy.
Well, I think it was, if it's anything, if Ryan adopts a young child right now and then that kid goes on to play baseball at Central Florida, you know, like, I mean, that's a good
but
story.
when the kid's like 17, and he's like, "Hey, sign this. I'm gonna adopt you," and then it's like a conservatorship, and then he's taking all of his money.
All I know is I'm going to adopt a 17-year-old right now.
I can't get past that conservatorship.
And I'm going to start funneling kids to.
I will be a character witness against that process.
I'm going to
all
start
the way.
funneling kids to colleges right now. Not my favorite college
is
because
weird
I don't want
that
them to
you
get
just said that.
in trouble. But I will find some program.
You're gonna find minors and follow them to college.
Another soundbite.
Headline.
Another soundbite. I'm gonna start funneling kids.
I will find some program in the SEC, Texas A&M. I'm looking at you. Send me the bag. I will gladly funnel recruits to you. It will be like who's it? John David Crow, Texas A&M back in the day.
Can we end this podcast?
Yes.
Hold on. What's the name of that school? Leon's going to start a school like that school that had a bunch of like.
Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, exactly.
You know they're making a 30 for 30 about that.
It should
It's
be
already
coming out.
done.
It should be
Yeah.
coming out soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
That's
That's
my-
season.
That's my fantasy team, man.
Bishop Oliver or something.
By the way. What's that school in Raleigh? The Raleigh Word of God.
Word of God, yeah, like Word of God, yeah.
Word of
I
God.
think they aren't even in business anymore.
No, they are. NC State just had to commit transfer there.
Yeah.
Anyways, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Stop making Beef Wellington.
Beef Wellington is delicious. Chris eats Cheez-Its and hot dogs and beanie weenies.
Don't funnel kids.
Wander Franco.